we're in the cycle where the judging candidates are really ready to do, so they've been doing all the evals today, but he's doing it for us, so when he comes out, I'm going to push him up front. Music category, many of you I've met and been in front of before, and you know pretty much about the chorus, you know about leadership. How did you guys feel on stage?
Great.
Good. You felt good? How'd you feel about the scores?
It's all relevant.
Yeah, it's okay. And I know that the question was why were Mark and I so far apart? And I think that one's a pretty easy one. You probably wouldn't like the answer, but it's a pretty easy one, which is you did some really tremendous things with rhythm, but Mark's the rhythm guy. So Mark, if you're going to focus on rhythm, and you might actually focus on rhythm. He is the king of rhythm in the barbershop right now. So I'm not sure he's quite as enthralled by it as I was. That's probably the biggest difference why I was thinking of 75 and he was a 70 on that first song. Is that right? Do I have the right one? I have to pull out the sheet. Yeah. So.
And what was it specifically? And why I asked that, was it the precision or the overall art of where
Actually, I should qualify that. You said that wrong. I was completely taken by the rhythm. He had some issues. Yeah, sorry, I said that wrong. I take it back to the I love the sensation of the handling and all that sort of stuff. It really swept me away. I think he was like, that was nice, but these other things, he just glommed onto a little bit more that were not quite as good. So it's what we call this is a very typical mixed message quartet. Of course, some things are good, some things not as good. Some judges will see this and over-reward it, not over-reward it, reward that. Some judges will see this and maybe not quite as reward it. And I think that's what happened with that. I love the rhythm treatment. Love. Really excellent job. And for a chorus singing in mid-70s, I think you're just way ahead of the game on that piece. I think there's some sound and unity issues that we need to figure out to bring that piece up so everybody's giving you 75s and above. So with that, I'm going to turn it over. So Kai, one of our candidates, one of our music candidates, has been doing great things. So we just talked a little bit about Mark's and my difference, which if I remember the discussion was I was really involved by the rhythm, which he thought was okay, but the sound was not as clean as he would wish. Do you think that's what it was?
Yes. Yes, that was it. Yeah.
Okay. So, Kai Outerbridge.
I was right in the middle, actually.
That's why, you should listen to him more.
I heard both things, Yeah, like Dave said, the rhythm was just really wonderful. I think there's actually even more you can do with it in terms of creating some variety in rhythm, sort of kept this sort of energetic feel. I think there are opportunities for a break from that, a little more smoother swing, and a little more, there's a stomp section in the middle that I feel like could take a little more advantage of. And so finding the variety in the rhythm, that's gonna create that, the thing that sold you for so many of the judges of this rhythm, that's just gonna take that even higher. It's just beautifully executed. And of course, you have a wonderful music judge director here who is well versed in swing. So that's great. I think everyone sort of came down a little bit on the second song. So let's spend a little more time on that and sort of see what we can do to bring that up and find some of the execution things. Yeah.
So could we spend more time on song one because we may not keep saying.
Oh, great. Then let's spend time on song one. Great. Can we go somewhere near the stomp?
And I didn't profile I know them really well.
Okay.
When I ask a question, to be clear.
Okay. Hey, how do you guys feel? You guys got a medal, right? Talk about that?
No, not that far away though. I mean, we're
Oh, really?
There's
Oh,
no
okay.
medal.
There's no medal for my district
Not
doesn't.
like it.
Very close. I think tied for medal?
No.
Tied for fifth. Sorry, I was close. Okay. Very close. Very close. But very good score. Very good performance. Everyone obviously enjoyed you. So how do you feel coming off stage? About representative of what you typically do? Is that correct? Very cool. And the score is below or higher than what you expected or wanted? A little bit low. A little bit low. Okay. There's a variety, and each panel is going to have some different preferences, and so don't take that to heart too much. But let's find some more opportunities. Let's bring it up. Let's make some great music right now. Great. Let's can we go somewhere near the song?
Sure.
Where? The stomp.
What's the use of that?
So what I would love to see a little more of is a little more articulation in the lead, a little more smoothness in the other parts to sort of allow that lead freedom. Can we do that?
That's right, the one in the song, right?
Burn my bridges.
Do a running start right creates some relief from that sort of driving tempo, and then it makes it more entertaining when you go back into that. So finding those relief spots,
Just to bringing it
into
tighter
into some
something.
variety. The B sections earlier can also do a little bit of that. So I was talking to Mark. I was sitting next to Mark Hale, who was the sort of low guy, and something we were talking about was this ah vowel, and you can tell a lot about a chorus from ah vowel. There's the chorus that are the instead of an ah, which that is not you guys. That's also bad. But then there's that ah instead of ah. So just a little more of that ah rather than ah. There's that sort of brighter sound. It lacks a little bit of the depth that we want in a sort of higher 70s.
Too bright.
It's
too
nice and
full.
bright. I love don't get rid of the brightness, but just create a little more height, a little more
Lower harmonics.
a little more warmth. Yeah, just a fuller range of resonance.
Got it. You know what that is.
Could you just sing it ah chord?
The last one. Ba, 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 ba.
Just for example, say do that on an Now do that on an It's gonna be nice right in the middle, nice and tall, all the good musical things that you guys gotta do. This is the craziness,
The
yeah.
5-part chord in there.
Yeah.
That adds to the little flavor in there.
That's the sound that we want that good full resonance all the time. No matter what the dynamic is, if it's loud, it's there, if it's quiet, it's there. That nice calmness is good all the way through the song. It's going to bring Mark's score up, I know. So, can we go from the start of the song and see if we can apply some of that? You guys talked about this? Yeah, so here above the shoulders, above the hip, above the ankle. Just find that a little bit. It's automatically going to create
Do you
a
see
difference in the
this
sound.
now?
A little bit, occasionally, yeah. A little more of that. And just that mentality of sing to the top half of the room.
Here we go, one more time. Nice energy. One, two, three.
You got me,
1, 2, 3.
Other parts on your ooh with the basses, listen to that, how much their resonance helps set up your sound and match their tallness of God. They're doing a really great job of that.
1, 2, 3. You got me.
Very good. Do you hear the difference? Right? Okay, can we have the leads now? Everyone else on it?
1, 2, 3. You
Got me, you got me, you got me, and I fell in love with you somehow. And I'm sentimental, sad, that's all.
Very good. Nice job, the leads. All four on words now.
1, 2, 3.
You got me, you got me, you got me, and I fell in love with you somehow, with you somehow. And I'm sentimental, sad, that's all. So what's the use of trying not to fall? I have no will to resent your kill. You took advantage of me, took advantage of me.
I hope you feel the difference on that. It feels way bigger to us. The overtones are set up. It's a really nice, rich sound, and that's sort of the sound that you hear when it gets to the higher settings. Courses, they have that richness and that tallness, that great alignment all the time. That's just consistent, perfect vocal. I don't want you to lose any of the wonderful rhythmic, energetic things that you're doing with that, but you can just find a little more height in the sound, and that's just going to take all of your music up another level. So just make that a habit, and that'll be great. And it's not just on the ah vowels; it's that sort of sensation of just a slightly more lifted, soft palate all the way through all of your vowels, all the way. So, great. Do you want to take? Let's take a later part of the song. Yeah. Yes. So, as you have a music judge, director, I'm sure you've heard the 5 categories of the music, the 5 sections of the music category, and the one that we're talking about here is really consonants. It's the opposite of dissonance. How locked are all these chords? How much are you really bringing the whole arrangement? So we're focusing on the arrangement, but how you bring the arrangement to life is to sing it really well and sing it really resonant and lock all the chords. And the taller vowel just creates a higher level of consonance through everything. And a lot of our score is based off of consonants, and so that is how this ties into the music category.
So yeah, I just didn't want you to think this was singing. Yeah, it's the same things we'll talk about, but it all goes into making the music work, because when you lock and ring, the music can come out. Otherwise, we're distracted. So it's music as well as what they'll talk about when they come in.
And it'll also raise your performance score as well, because all the categories are really looking at singing. This is a singing contest. Very good. I know even if we're not keeping the other song, I want to apply that concept to the other song, a ballad.
Sure.
It might be a little more.
Yeah, this has been a little bit more of our nemesis, right? It's a little tougher one. This
It is a tricky song, yeah.
It is a tricky song, there's a lot to it. You think it's pretty simple, but it isn't. So, there's a lot more effort that goes into that. We'll focus on getting what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, you want to take it from the beginning or someone in the middle?
Say right from the beginning.
I used to be the first one to cry.
All on and off. Keeping that nice emotional thoughts in your mind all through the album. we have a do-over?
Bye, guys. Did you like that?
Yeah.
Did you know, the biggest question is, did you know what you did individually to do that? Because that's the biggest thing, right? Singing is all about, how does it feel? What did I do differently? Because we're all different singers in our different worlds, right? In the car, or at, sometimes at work, in the bathroom, or whatever, right? But it's all what we do individually, and bring it back here and say, this is something different I just did. And it's to know and to recognize what that was.
So I have a challenge. I'll throw it in front of you before the next guy comes in. If you want to sing like that all the time, I can give you a tried and true method if you will take me up on this. So get yourself a number 2 lead pencil. A number 2 lead pencil. And you take that lead pencil and you put it in between your molars like this. And sing all your songs at home like that. That gives you a constant space in the back.
Which is what he was talking about.
Which is exactly what he was talking about. If you choose to do this for 5 to 8 minutes per day, every day for the next 30 days, you will not do it any other way because you will build that habit. If you choose not to do that, then you get a dichotomy in scores between 75 and 69. Because Mark saw that and went, it's just not consistent. The resonance space is not consistent.
And I talked to what's his name? Dave, and he said it was because it took a while for everybody to get into the rhythm and into those things, and that's why. Because we're all like doing a little bit of flapping of the jaw at different times.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I know that it took me a good 4 or 6 measures to feel the sound of the ensemble when we first started singing.
It was very tender.
I guarantee you, if we do that, it will be a different experience for you.
Are we all on board?
Yes,
Are we all on board? With that,